going to clean your teeth. It's going to satiate those cravings. And they're really delicious. So keep those veggies in and stay active. Keep moving. 10,000 steps a day. Tips to get stronger and healthier mind, body, and soul. Have a great day. God bless. How do you stay active and healthy 24/7? It sounds like a full-time job. Well, it kind of is. But this is the thing. We can either live our life taking care of it, housing this temple that we've been given, or we can later on have to take care of it with medications and a lot of doctor's visits. So here's the 3 tips today. Drink your water. Yep, I drink this thing every day, sometimes hit and miss, but the goal is about 120. If I don't get to 120, I get to 60, 70, 80, but I've got some accountability. Tip number 2, get your greens in. Yes, these are the best. Use them as chips. Eat them in the car, wherever you go. Make a salad. Arugula is your best friend. Tip number 3, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Yeah, eat an apple. It's going to help satiate. It's going to clean your teeth. It's going to satiate those cravings. And
all right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right. And, I'm just stepping on my stuff. Hello, and we are live. Excited to see everybody. Happy Sunday evening. I am here to do a quick Sunday reflection, but also I am here because I wanted to share my story. It's been 1 week. 1 week. Hi, Rose. What's up? 1 week since I came back from Tony Robbins conference. And before I left, my last video for you guys live was taking massive action, right? So, hi, everybody. Thanks for joining in. And so massive action equals results. And I went for my 4-day Tony Robbins event. So I wanted to share it really quick and tell you all the highlights. Honestly, it's taken me a whole week to get here. And here, let me silence this so that you don't get the echo on TikTok and Instagram. You can hear it though. Okay, hold on. 2 seconds. Okay. All right. So what I wanted to say was that it took me all week to really process, and I'm still processing everything that I learned, and I got so much out of it. So tonight I'm going to do a little mini motivation for you, sharing some of the things that I learned, and hopefully get you on track for the week. Hi, Sean Paul. Good to see you. So I know you guys are busy, so maybe you're cooking, cleaning up. Just put me on the side, kind of like a little podcast here, and listen up. So let me break down the days. First of all, we get there on Thursday night. We get in. Thursday morning. There's this ginormous line of like 12,000 people to get in, and they did a great job. We went through security and everything, and got into our seats, and the party started 16 hours later. No joke, okay? Like, we literally were there from 9 in the morning until 1 a.m. And now you're wondering, how did you sit through that? Well, let me just tell you something. I'm not good at sitting, one. I'm also, I'm a kinesthetic learner, so if I'm going to learn, I need to be touching and doing things. Definitely can't just sit still for 16 hours, which is not what we did. All right, so let me explain a little bit if you're interested and you want to go to a UPW, which I really recommend it for everybody. I feel that you will learn things and, just like anything, walk away feeling stronger, with a better mindset and ready to take on just confronting yourself. So day one, basically he would talk and speak, and such a great speaker, has so much information, such great knowledge, and then boom, it'd be like a rave. So we'd literally be just like jumping up and down screaming to the best music ever, which I would play it here, but I can't because I'll get copyrighted if I play any of that music. So when it was the best music. I have a little playlist. I play it every day, and when I'm feeling down, I put it on. You can't sit still either. And when I get, hi Brady boy, what's up? When I get like down or I'm feeling like unmotivated, I just start putting on those beats and I start jumping up and down. I even got Cliff to do it, my husband. I think he's making fun of me, but it doesn't matter. He's still jumping up and down. One of the songs is "Life Will Never Be the Same" by Hadaway, which is a very old 90s song, and it was the best. So anyways, let me get into what I wanted to share. That was day one. Day one was deep. It was digging into so many things about yourself, and you literally, I was sharing crazy stuff with strangers and crying, like already day one. I went for it. Listen, you're only going to get what you want out of something, right? If you show up all like leery and you don't like play full out, well, you're not going to get full out in anything you do, in your relationships, in your business, in your friendships, in your job, in your workouts. You just show up and you want the trainer to do it for you. You want the trainer to drink your water for you. That's not how it works, and we all know that. So I got to take a quick drink. Speaking of water, drink your water, eat your arugula. So we're there, I'm like sharing like deep things with people, crying, and what's up, Trey? And we get to like we hadn't even eaten. Like, you could go outside and eat, but I was so focused and so into what we were doing. I had a couple protein bars. I lost 4 pounds while I was there because we were jumping up and down constantly, and I wasn't thinking about, eating all the time, which was great. I was like, thanks. Thanks. I lost 4 pounds. I might have put them back on. But so anyways, we get to the last part, and this is the fire walk. So I know a lot of people skeptical of the fire walk. What is it? It sounds crazy and creepy. You know what? At the end of the day, all it is hi guys, hi's on TikTok. Thanks for stopping by, and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and Vimeo and Vimeo channel. We're everywhere today. What's up? The fire walk, all it really is, you guys, is like stepping out into something that's really uncomfortable and you don't want to do it, and pushing past your fears. That's what it is. So with my brand, I take everyone into the ocean, and we do a just jump in. And I'm like, I know you're scared, but I'm going to take you into the water. I don't want to get my hair wet. Whatever happens, we go into the water, right? The other night I was talking to my swim coach, and I looked at the diving board, and I was like, I'm so happy my kids do that. I never got to do that. I'm a little scared to do that. And then she's like, really? I could take you to do it. And I said, I walked on fire coals though. And she's like, what? So let me tell you my experience. All right, here we go. He tells us all about how to walk on the fire coals. We got to walk and stay focused and say cool moss. But I decided I was going to pray. And this, for me, this fire walk represented for me to just overcome being scared of big trials and pain and things, and to just to be strong. And so I get up and I'm like, cool. Like, all right, the coals are looking great, and everybody's just like walking on them like nothing's happening. I'm like, I'm going to be fine. I'm good. All right. And I step up, and the guy goes, hold on. You get new coals. And you can't see me with this microphone, but he's like, you get new coals. And he smiled, and it was a creepy smile. And then the other guy, I look, and it's like, they're red coals. They're red, orange coals. Mm-hmm. Yep. Anyways, so I was like, well, I'm here, and I said I was going to do this, and I have to do this now. I'm here. I got to cross over the little bridge. So anyways, I said, even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Now, did I get burnt just a little bit on the bottom of my foot? But I was fine. I put it in cold water, some ice that night. We made it. Slept about 3 hours. But can I tell you something? It was pretty cool. I remember my friend Michael. I made a friend, Allison and Michael. You make new friends while you're there. You bond with people in a different way because you're all there to make some changes in your life. You know that you've come to a place where maybe you feel weary, maybe you feel lost, maybe you feel stuck, and you just need a state change. And so he's just like, you did that. I was like, they put new coals on. He's like, you did that. I was like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. So since I've been back and I decided to do this crazy thing, and that was just the first night, and it's not the culminating moment, you guys. It really isn't. It's almost like just a kickoff for the rest of what's about to happen. I think it's to put you in a place of vulnerability and strength, and to see that you can push past your mind. That's really what it's for. To push past those disempowering beliefs that you have. I can't do that. If I walk that, then I can jump off the diving board. I can confront a situation that maybe I'm scared to confront, right? I can voice that I'm not happy in a certain area of my life and ask for change. I can decide that I want to lose 30 pounds, whatever it may be that you have in your mind that you think you can't. So that was day 1. Slept 3 hours, get up the next day, got to do our hair. Got to have good hair. My sister's like, what is going on? I'm like, I got to have good hair all weekend. So we go to day 2. Day 2 was just touching. I should have grabbed my notebook, because how can I remember all these things? And I have some of my notes in my phone. We learned about the 5 human needs. I learned so many different things, but I'll just break it down. Day 2, we had a great time. Tony took that day. We had other speakers. They told us about attitude, the shaking of your booty changes your attitude. But really, at the end of the day, I'm just going to back up for a second, is that when you move your body and you change your physiology, you do a lot of different things, like kind of hand gestures to help you get out of that rut that you're in, kind of change your mode, right? And start changing the patterns that we make. Everything that we do is through energy and patterns. We have good patterns and not so good patterns, right? Right? You wake up in the morning, you got like your habits and your patterns. You hear a song, it triggers you. It triggers you and says, okay, you know what? When I hear that song, it makes me sad. So I go sad state. So we learn about all the different types of states that we can be in. We can be in a happy state. We can be in a joyous state, a gratitude state. But we can also be in an anger state, and an anxiety, fear, all these things. So he teaches us about changing our state, and that we have the ability to change it at any time that we want to. We can tap into different parts of ourselves to help us get back into gratitude, really. So I'm just going to sum it up. Day 3 is the crazy transformation day. That's the day. It's not the fire walking day. It's the transformation day. And it's the day that you really look at yourself and you really dig deep. So I want to back up and go to the 6 human needs. 6 human needs are certainty, to have certainty. For example, you have that money in the bank. You do things to just have that certainty. You want to make sure that person loves you forever. Certainty. Okay? But unfortunately with certainty, nothing is certain. Only God. And everything's always changing. But it's one of our core values that we all have. We want some sort of certainty, right? Like we want to know we have a job to go to that's going to provide money. And for the most part, it can be pretty certain, but it can disappear anytime. So nothing is completely certain. Then there's uncertainty. You can call this adventurous. You can call it surprise. Now, you may think, yeah, that's me. I really need a lot of uncertainty in my life because life gets boring. Yes, you like surprises, but you only like the surprises that you like, right? Some surprises we don't like popping our tire. We don't like that. That's not a fun surprise. But I definitely like uncertainty. We all need all of these, but we value them differently. Next one, significance. So feeling that you are significant in something. Now, with all of these qualities or values, you guys, there's positive and negative to them. So with significance, for example, you could feel that you need to have approval of others. You want to be the prettiest. You want to be the strongest. You want to be like the richest. You want to be the best teacher, or gain some sort of significance and approval. But you can also gain it in a negative way. Like you could hurt people and gain significance, right? Like somebody who, someone who is a gangster and hurts other people gains significance from that. So you can still gain that value, but in a negative way as well. There's also love and connection. I think that's self-explanatory. You want love and you want connection. Hi, what's up? And then there's the next one was love and connection, and then the last one was, I'm so sorry, I read a question. Love and connection. Brain's not working. Oh, growth. So growing. anything, learning, maturing, changing your perspective on things, growing in different perspectives, right? Not just staying in your mode, but learning about other people, other experiences, growing that way. And then also contribution. Contribution is where we're serving others. So when you break down all of these needs that we all have, they're all our like 6 core values, and we all need all of these, but we have different levels of them. Some of you may already realize that you are significant, that you do a lot of things for significance. Or maybe you like to live in certainty, and when there's not certainty, it really freaks you out. Everything has to be in its place. If it's not, it stresses you out. You got to have everything in order, right? A lot of certainty. And so I'm going to take a little drink of water. I'm really thirsty today. Get some more water in. And so, back to what I was saying. He had us break down where we thought our most important values were. And when you sat down to break them down, then he made you see that, like, if you're sitting in certainty as your number one, it's going to fail you because nothing stays the same. Or if you're in significance for most of the time, that it's also going to fail you because you're going to get old. There's always somebody better, smarter, makes more, prettier, whatever above you. So you'll always be striving and never really find full fulfillment. And love and connection's great. You can find fulfillment in that as well. But he kind of breaks it all down where I got to the point where I realized that the ones that would give most back and the most fulfillment would be contribution, which is serving others, because that's endless. And that is like what God calls us to do. Love your neighbor as yourself, and to give to others. Give your neighbor your cloak if they need it. And so serving, and that's kind of what he basically said, was that if we live in serving, we will find way more fulfillment than trying to gain approval all the time, live in complete certainty, because it's going to go away. And so that was a really big aha for me, realizing that I lived a lot in love and connection and significance. And so for me, it was just like, I was like, yeah, totally. I'm always hoping that I can make everybody happy and everybody approve of me. And I've been doing that since I was a little girl. But the word significance really kind of hit home right there. Hi, thanks for the hearts. If you relate, please let me know. Yeah. So I realized that very quickly about myself and said, well, the great thing about these values is that you can switch them, you guys. You don't have to stay in significance. You don't have to stay in those in uncertainty or certainty. You can move into saying, I want to focus more on serving others than trying to gain love from others, right? So just switching, flipping the script. And so that was one thing that I really saw and touched my heart. And I mean, you guys, these were hours. These were days of like 15 hours long of information, okay? And that's why he has us stand up every 10 minutes and dance and go. I was just going crazy like a rave, and really embody these things. But he also took us into our beliefs, beliefs that we are disempowering beliefs that we have and rules that we have. And this was really great because a lot of us don't realize the stories we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves, you know what, here, I'll give you, I went really deep, okay, so I'm not going to announce all that on here, but I went really deep and I went there. I cried so much. I really was like, I have to make some massive changes in my life so that everything else can be better where it needs to be. And so I know exactly, some of them, but I will share one of them with you. And one of them that I struggle with was, this one was that I can't, that I'm not smart enough. I'm not smart enough to run this business, to keep it going and growing where it needs to go. and it's where I get stuck. And he had us pick 3. So this is my third one. I have 2 other top ones. So, but what's crazy is like you don't really realize that you tell yourself these things. And so when you do this, you play really small with yourself, okay? So when you tell yourself you're not smart enough, okay? And I truly have believed that about myself. I'm like, I'm not a businesswoman, right? Like I was a kindergarten teacher and I got my certificates as a trainer. I don't totally know I don't know how to do this media and the marketing and all these things and run all these parts and I know that I could take this business to the next place, but what happens is I'm like, you can't, you're not smart enough, you don't know, and it's not going to happen. And so all of this starts to go like this, right? So you play small. So here's an example. Walking into a place, I might be like, oh yeah, I have a small little business. And look at my posture. Oh, hi, I have a small little business, right? Like, look at that. What is that? Now, I'm not saying you should be arrogant. I'm not saying you should be pompous. There's something different about being humble, but being strong and confident. So instead, I own my own business. I love serving women and teaching them how to keep their bodies healthy and strong. And I adore working on the playground and seeing the kids move their bodies and seeing that they can do it and learn how to be a team. See? Look at the difference, right? And that doesn't sound like I'm arrogant. That doesn't sound like I think I'm everything, but it sounds confident and it sounds assured in what I'm doing, right? And you can see my heart because my heart is in contribution, right? If I were to walk in, so I showed you the shy, I showed you the confident and contribution. Let's show you what a pompous way would be if I was just for significance, right? Oh yeah. I'm Mary Fulton. Oh, you haven't seen my pages? Oh, you haven't seen them? Well, they're really amazing, and I've done a lot of amazing things, right? Which is totally not me, right? But I'm just being an actress for you, right? So those are like the different versions of what that would look like. So just because you're confident doesn't mean you're arrogant. Right? You're not bragging. That would be for significance. Like, oh, how do you not know me? Right? Like, oh, I do this and I do that and I do this. No, nobody needs to know all that. Just share your heart of what you really want to do and why. And that's the difference. And that's a connection. And that's love. And that's beautiful. And whatever you do, even if your job is something very simple as like you're in the cafeteria with the kids and you are the cafeteria lady. Well, rock that. You get to serve them food and you want to make them smile, right? So it doesn't really matter what the job is, but I had to dig really, really deep into my disbelieving thoughts and stories, and these are real, you guys. I battle them every day and I fight myself and I say, okay, and what they do is they paralyze you and then you play small. You're like, well then, you know what, I guess it's not going to do as well as I thought. It's okay. I mean, I did pretty good anyway. I mean, it was good, but then I'm not going to climb, right? And so he just taught us how, let me move this, sorry. He taught us how to take this disempowering belief and then the rules we put on things. Like, here's another one. I'm going to pause that one. So we talked about appreciation. Oh, wait, sorry. Instead of expectation, to live in appreciation. I'm going to say that again. Write it down. Instead of living in expectation, live in appreciation. And really embodying that. Listen to that again. Instead of living in expectation, living in appreciation. So somebody doesn't do the one thing that you hope that they would, but you just live in appreciation of whatever the situation is. You're not going to feel let down because you're not living expecting from people. Well, I did this, so they should do that. I've done that before. And you know what? It's very empty and sad because no one's going to live up to your expectations. I grew up in a home where expectations were really, really, really high and they're never met. And as much as my mama loves me with all her heart, man, she is hard. And I can't ever please her. And I realized at this event that that's okay. And that her being so hard on us has made us stronger. And that's why I always keep working harder to make it as best as I can because I know that I haven't reached it. But he made us see some things about that, like in his life, like things that he went through with his mom and really, really hard stuff. And he's like, you know what? Life isn't happening to you. It's happening for you. And that's where I wanted to kind of go into this next section, was that it's happening for you. When I was there with Tony, because, I feel like a lot of people freak out when they hear about Tony Robbins. They think that people go and get crazy there or something. I don't know. But it's really not like that. I just walked away with a lot of knowledge. He is humble. He walks around everywhere. He's not pompous. He's straightforward. And he also tells the truth. Like, he just kind of gets to it. And you need to tell yourself the truth is one thing. And he says the truth will set you free, right? And the Bible says the truth will set you free. So we know that. And when you're truthful with yourself and honest, you start to become who you really need to be. And so I had some big, hard truths I had to face. And he has us go through this Dickens model where you really have to embody what it all feels like if you were to stay in that state of feeling like those hopeless situations. And with 14,000 people around you, with the lights off and your eyes closed, going through it, it was pretty crazy. People were crying. People were really experiencing and visualizing what it would be like if they didn't make a change in this belief system they had that they've created in their mind. Whether it was being in a relationship that they weren't happy in, or feeling that they would never be loved, or whatever. Everybody put one in their mind that was their belief that they keep going back to. I just named one of mine to you, but that wasn't the one I took all the way. It was a more personal one on a relationship. And so I had to dig really deep into that relationship and say, what do I really want out of this? And really dig so deep and feel the pain of not dealing with it for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Man, you're crying on the floor. And it's a really cool experience, though, because at the end of the day, we don't make change unless we feel massive pain. So a lot of the things that we do and the patterns that we do is because we do, pleasure and pain. So it's like a little scale, right? If you feel a lot of pleasure, even though in the end it's going to cause you pain, you still will keep going to it. So for example, if you know that, eating certain things are going to make you feel sick, but it gives you pleasure temporarily from your stress, then you'll do it until you feel that pain. Then you'll be like, oh, I'm not going to do that again, right? I've heard people always say, I'm never drinking again, because the next day they were really sick. I've never experienced that. I'm a daughter of my daddy was an alcoholic, so I've never been drunk, and I won't because probably that's just the way I dealt with it. So, but people will say, when that pain is so heavy, right? The doctor says, hey, you're going to have diabetes if you don't. So people are like, okay, I'm going to make a change. But sometimes, you guys, even your doctor telling you that you're going to die from something doesn't change your state. You keep doing it. Tell a smoker they're going to have lung cancer, they may still keep smoking. They rather have that temporary pleasure because they can't totally feel the pain yet, right? Until the pain gets higher than the pleasure is when the leverage comes in. And the leverage is the big thing, everybody. So when you have leverage, that's when things change. Example, your kid's getting bad grades. And you don't do anything. You just have a conversation with them. Hey, man, I know you're going to do a good job. You can do it. I'll get you a tutor. And nothing changes. Why? Because they still get to do their fun things. And it's not that important to them. It's not. They're not looking at the future. Right? But then you say, I'm taking away your motorized bike and your telephone. And what happens? What do you think happens? They start getting their grades up, right? Thanks for the hearts. So So those are the pain versus pleasure model, and we all work off of this, you guys. So he makes you and your mind go into the places that are painful, so you feel greater pain to change this belief you have that you've told yourself. I can't, I won't, I'll never be able to lose all that weight, right? Maybe as someone who's sick, but they just can't overcome this. But then they put themselves through that state of what it would be like to be sick and what would happen to them if they didn't stop that habit, right? And so it was so powerful. We cried so much. We danced so much. We felt everything. We felt it all. But there was this one time I wanted to share that was like going through the pain of things. But he also had us go through the beautiful things. And I can still feel them. He had us just sit for a second and imagine moments of love that you've had in your life. Moments of being proud, moments of passion, moments of serving and giving, and like all these beautiful moments. And so when we do these little exercises, they're so great because I saw me and my dad, and I was on his shoulders, and I was like 4 years old. And I remember like laughing and playing with him, and it took me to that beautiful place of gratitude. And so as he walks us through all of these moments of gratitude, and it's like he wants you to envision them, think about them, and bring them to your heart and feel those things. And so when you're done with all these things, you realize how beautiful your life is. No matter what hardships you're in, that there's always so much beauty in this life that you have. And so I loved what he said, because he said, I didn't give you anything. You came here with it. I just helped you unleash it. And that just yes, that's exactly what he did. He didn't do anything. He just helped us open our eyes to the beautiful life we already have. And you have an amazing life, even if you're going through the hardest, darkest time right now. You just need to sit and pray and have a moment of thinking of all the beautiful things that God has blessed you with in your life. From your fingertips, to your feet, to your hands, to your mind, to the people in your life, to the special moments you've had, even with the ones that you love and they're not here anymore, grabbing those moments and feeling them again. And that was what was so beautiful. Like, I can still feel that joy right here, because we did it so many times that it just, I can feel it in my chest, like just those beautiful things. And yeah, and I just, I wanted to share all this with you guys. And I came home, and I felt tired when I came home. I was like, I wanted to take over the world, and I wasn't quite ready yet. Starting tomorrow. No, but I needed to process what just happened and the things that I saw in myself. And even to these last few days, I just been processing and then stopping in situations and saying, hey, I'm going to speak up right now. I'm going to say, hey, I feel like this right now, and this makes me sad. Being able to speak up in moments, or telling my kid, hey, I'm not going to look at my phone at night or in the car anymore. I notice that I'm not spending time with you. I'm putting time into meaningless things. And so I'm in this big place right now where I'm working on correcting a lot of things in myself. And it's a hard place to sit in, friends. We don't want to see all of our flaws. But it's okay. It's so safe, because want to know why? I want to know the areas I got to get better in, in a deeper way, and why I do the things that I do. Why I like to, shop a lot, or why I like to grab that Nutella sometimes. like in a moment. Why am I doing those things? Oh, I'm really anxious. Oh, I'm really sad. But like really confronting these things that are going on inside of me that maybe I wasn't really addressing before. So if anything, this event taught me to remember the beautiful life I have, and that it's not happening to me. And anybody that has hurt me in my life, that it's okay, that they were in my life for a reason, a season, for a lesson, and that I've grown stronger through it, and I can love them for it. And hopefully anybody I've hurt in my lifetime, that they can forgive me for messing up too. And hopefully what I've done can help them and to be the stronger, more beautiful person they need to be. And so we all have been on the side where we've been hurt, and we've all been on the side where we've hurt somebody. And we all have to come to that realization too. You're not just the one that's getting it. You're dishing it out too. So are you going to be the disher? Or are you going to be the forgiver and work on contribution and growth? Or are you going to be just living in expectations? Are you going to be living in your fears? Are you going to be living in anxiety? Like, you want that beautiful life. God says, live your life to the fullest. What does that fullest mean? It doesn't mean a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, even Tony Robbins will tell you, like, all the people in that he's trained and coached so many people that have everything they need and they're depressed. They haven't found fulfillment in giving and serving. And I mean, ultimately, to me, if you don't have your faith in God, who is all certainty, then it's going to be meaningless. But if you live your life to serve yourself, it will be even more meaningless. Even if you can drive a Corvette and have all the fun things. Like right now, if you gave to me like all the things I dream about, right? Like I'm in my garage, right? And I'm like, okay, if I have my gym, then I will be happy. That's not the truth. That's a great goal to have, but that's not where my happiness should be. My happiness should be right now, right here. Living in full gratitude of getting to have a channel or a place to speak and share, and to be able to like love on women and work with kiddos too and help light them up, you know? So it makes you realize your purpose and why you're doing the things that you're doing. And if you got off the, you know, if you went off the rails and went this way and you need to bring it back, you can. You always can. That's what's beautiful about living another day, is that you have the opportunity to change. And nobody, like living as a victim is the last thing you want to do. Don't play the victim. You're in control of how you react and what you do. This world is changing. And there's nothing new under the sun. Go read about Solomon. Ecclesiastes. He had everything. Harems of women, all the wisdom, all the money. He said, meaningless is everything under the sun. But if you keep reading the book, he'll tell you that he found meaning in everything when he put God first. And in my life, and even in Tony Robbins, I loved hearing that. He talked about how God was, you know, his number one. So that was great. But, you know, I think in all of this, I feel changed. And I feel ready for that new change. And my new word for where I'm at right now is metamorphosis. So a long time ago, about 7 years ago, I went through some dark times. I made some mistakes. I went through a lot of stuff. I went through a lot of like shame, a lot of things with God. And I came to see his love and his light and his mercy and his grace that covered me and helped me renew my strength and to continue to go and do the things that I've done all these years. But here I am in 7 years, and you know, it is a 7 and 7 times 3 is 21, which is 21 21 days where the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis and then he comes out and becomes a butterfly. But about 7 years ago, God really showed me through the butterfly and its process what that a caterpillar's in that chrysalis and we don't know what's happening, but it's going through all these changes, this pushing, this pulling, and that when it's in the chrysalis, right? Did you know that you can't help the butterfly? You can't open up the chrysalis and, take it out so it'll fly. It actually has to use its wings, and that's how it gets strength, so that with its wings it can fly. And so I feel that through this whole story, and man, it was like the butterfly migration back then, and I promise you, everywhere I went there was butterflies. But I did see a butterfly the other day. Twice it came when I was on the playground with the kids, and I had to quickly pivot. I wanted to share the story. So I was at Naples School, and I showed up to do their warm-up, and it was awesome. And I didn't bring my kickballs or anything because I just thought, I'm going to do boxing with the kids, whatever. And they put me in a kickball court. And it was all cloudy, and then like the sun started beaming through, okay? And I had put all my banners around, and I just looked and I was like, it's a kickball court. These kids need to play kickball. It's not boxing. They're not going to find joy in this. So I was like, do you guys have a kickball? Well, I got the kickballs. I quickly pivoted. The kids were so excited to play ultimate kickball. And as I sat out there watching them play kickball and I was cheering them on, I had this moment with God, full gratitude, fullness of this amazing week I went and all these things. And I was like, pivot, new change, new season. New season. I see it, God. You're shifting. Things are changing. And I took a deep breath, and a monarch butterfly came out of nowhere, and I'm not joking. She just, and she was so beautiful, and she came over like this to me, and then she left, and I was like, metamorphosis. So I'm ready to make big changes, and I'm ready to not be scared of the changes I have to make in my personal life and also in my business life, and taking steps and saying, hey, I got to do this. I'm going to stand in confidence and know that I have that knowing of where I need to go next and what to do. And nothing stays the same, everybody. Nothing. In my business, what I was doing 3 years ago doesn't necessarily work for what we're doing now. What you were doing, we have to always be changing and revamping ourselves and growing. And that's where one of those values is growth, right? Contribution and growth. And so right now I'm in the phase of my life where I want to contribute and I want to grow. I want to grow in my faith with the Lord. I want to grow in my relationship with my husband and my children. I want to grow in knowledge of how to be a really great leader and businesswoman for my brand. I want to learn all the things that I need to do so that I can grow my channel for women and my children's program. And I feel very grateful that I have all these things to worry about and think about. It is a blessing from God. And so instead of looking at it as overwhelm and freezing and thinking, I can't do this, it's more about stepping back and being like, wow, it used to be just wondering what I was going to do or say on camera for a workout class. Now my worries are, I don't want to call them worries, but my challenges are bigger than that. How can I grow this brand and hire coaches? How can I develop my channel for women on the go who need classes, who are so busy, right? They don't have 3 hours to work out. They got 25 minutes. And I think that's where I have to start going and shifting. So everything is changing, everything is moving, and you have to pivot and move as well. You can't stay stuck. And this is one last thing I wanted to say, is he said, if something isn't growing, it is dying. I'm going to say it again. If something isn't growing, it's dying. So in your life, think about the most important things in your life. Your faith. Are you Are you talking to God? Do you pray? Do you read? Because if you're not growing, it's dying. In your marriage, are you pursuing a passionate love marriage? Or are you just settling and saying it's just busy so I can't? Are you pursuing your parents and staying in a relationship with them? Even if they're sick and they're not well, are you serving them? Are you contributing and growing that relationship as they age? Are you taking care of your health? I know how busy you are. I know it's hard with the kids and everyone's pulling on you. But listen, girl, if you don't take care of your health, 10 years from now, that girl is going to say, why didn't you take care of me? I'm sick. And 20 years, I'm taking all these medications and I feel worse and I can't move. If it's not growing, it's dying. If you're not moving, then your body isn't getting better and healthier and stronger and building for you 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. If you're not eating healthy, then what are you building for yourself, for your future self, for your 80-year-old version of you? Are you in a wheelchair? Are you sick with high blood pressure, cholesterol? Are you overweight and it's just so hard to walk on your joints? So these are just important things. It's not about having a bikini body. It's about taking care of you. And I know it's hard. Some days I don't want to get up at 4 a.m. and show up on a camera and work out. And recently, I have felt so weary. So weary. That's why I really wanted to go to Tony Robbins, because I knew that I needed a rejuvenation. And maybe you need a rejuvenation right now too. You need to push pause. You need to take a rest time. You need to sit and really think about what's most important right now, how you can make time for your health, how you can make time for yourself to cook a healthy meal for you and your family. Maybe it's making time for that relationship, the most important relationship. Because at the end of the day, if your relationship with your spouse or your partner is not well, then everything else can't be well. You can excel to only just a certain level in everything else. And so, I'm just coming to you today and I'm saying, stop and be honest with yourself. Because the only one that you're lying to is you. Everybody else is busy with their lives. Everyone else is doing their crazy life. And they'll look over and be like, hey, are you okay? Okay, I can help you if you need it. But they got to keep going. At the end of the day, it's you with yourself, looking in the mirror. Are you living your life to the fullest? Are you playing out to your full potential? Are you living in that peak state where you're like, yeah, I am just grateful today. Hey, my back might hurt or my kids were fighting in the car, but dude, I got kids, I got a car, I'm here, and I am just full of love. To live in that state is beautiful, And thank you so much, Sandy. Sandy says, join Mary's Renewal Challenge. Yes, I'm going to have another one for 90 days in January. So I haven't even put it in the shop yet. It's something I came up with today because this week is goal setting and planning for me. I have a break from the kids at the Just Playing. So I have a couple days to let myself really think about the brand. But I'm going to be doing a 90-day transformation. And this is going to be in-depth, full out for people who are ready to be full out. But I do have the renewal program. You guys can still do that one too. But But I just wanted to say that play full out. Be your best version of you. Why are we only playing half versions? And that's what I realized. And when I went to my class the other day, I saw everybody, like just kind of here in their state. And he talked about our state being in peak state and bringing that beautiful energy every day because we're alive. And I just thought, I want to live there. I want to live in gratitude and thankfulness to God every day. And I do. But I want to live in even more fullness and more joy every day. And in contribution and growth. And no longer focus so much on my significance. And that's where I'm growing in. So remember, if it's not growing, it's dying. And if that life isn't happening to you, don't be the victim. It's happening for you. It's all here. It's all here. You just have to grab it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed my message. And if there's any questions you guys have, please let me know. Put them in the comments. And thanks for those of you that stayed on this long. I know it was a long message. I hope that it brought you joy. I hope that it brought some clarity to you. And thanks so much. And I'm so glad I got to come on tonight and share this with you. I was feeling a little weary, and I was like, should I do this? Should I not? And I was like, yes, say yes, make a move. That's my move. It's like a hit on the chest and then like an arm up in the air. He makes you do these weird movements where you're like, why am I picking my nose right now? I don't really understand. But there's a reason for it all, to break the patterns, to make a shift and pivot. So coming to you with full love right now. I hope you can feel it. It's sincere. Oh, you are so welcome. It's sincere. Play full out wherever you're at in your life. It's a blessing. And you're enough and you're amazing. God made you special. There was this little toy I used to say, God made you special and he loves you very much. But it's the truth. So know, like that full knowing that God loves you and he made you. And then appreciation, not expectation. Life is happening to you, not for you. If it's not growing, it's dying. Right? And then, like he said to us, I didn't give you anything. You already had it. I just helped you unleash it. So, I hope that you guys enjoyed that today. Love you all so very much. And if you guys want to join my channel, Mary Fulton Fit, I have my fitness channel. I also have trainings, one-on-one group. I also do the children's workouts currently at one school, but looking to expand to other schools. So love you so much. Stronger together, mind, body, soul, and just God bless you. That's it. I'm going to go to bed now. I'm going to sleep like a baby. I love you guys. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye. I'm going to stop here. And let's see, I think this is it. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me read your messages. Wonderful message. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. God bless you. Thanks so much, TikTok. I never get to do a lot of live here, but I really appreciate all of you joining. Thank you so much. Awesome TikTokers. And then I don't know if I can post it, but I know that we all join live, and that's the most important thing. So thank you so much. I'll see you soon. And you guys are still watching me take a picture, huh? Okay, I'm going to take my picture really quick. I got your picture. But, we got to take our pictures for these things. And then we got to, and then it's still live. We're going to end it now, and then we're going to add our picture. So, anyways, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming. And I will see you tomorrow for lots of workouts and turkey burn.